Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another tag video. I'm doing Avatar The Last Airbender tag. First three questions are based on water. The first question on the tag is Katara and Sokka, best sibling relationship. I couldn't think of that many sibling relationships that are such a key factor of the novels. So I went for probably one of the most basic answers and I chose Alec and Isabel from the Mortal Instruments series. Like I said, probably the most obvious siblings to choose. They rely on each other, they respect each other, they work together. I was actually going to say Jace and Clary at first, but I thought that was a little bit gross. So the second question is favourite star-crossed lovers. Again, struggled with this one. I don't know what it is about this tag, but it's probably one of the hardest ones that I've done because it's really made me think about the books that I've read. For this one, I was just kind of like, does it have to be across the galaxy? Does it have to be like a sci-fi book? I don't know. So I kind of went for the whole like time aspect. I went for Meg Cabo's Mediator series with Jessie and Suze. I was just kind of like scouring my bookcase for the appropriate answer to this question, and this is the one that I came up with. I really like this relationship. It's not star-crossed, but it is kind of life and death and kind of across time and how that kind of works out. Question 3 is Bloodbending, a book with a disturbing or unsettling concept. So again, there are lots of books that I've read that focus on a lot of dark storylines. The one that I kept coming back to, which I do kind of want to talk about, is 50 Shades of Grey. I know a lot of people didn't like this book. I didn't like the book. I thought it was terrible writing and I didn't like the storyline. I really don't respect the fact that this domestic violence is romanticised. That's what this book is. Domestic abuse, manipulation. I really don't like the way that people see it as a romantic novel. I don't care about the sex in the book. It really doesn't bother me. If anything, that was the most normal part of the book. The reasons behind the sex were dark and horrible, and I really don't like the way that they're put across as a romantic story. There's nothing wrong with a disturbing concept. Lots of literature is based on stories like these, influences like those that the characters have. It's the way that it's romanticised just kind of really angered me when I read this book. Question 4 opens up to Earth. And the first question is, a character whose strength surprised you or surprised other characters in the book. I wanted to go with Primrose Everdeen from the Hunger Games trilogy because we see her grow, we see her getting stronger. And even though that Katniss is in the games and doesn't get to see her sister, every time that she comes back, the girl is stronger and she's a more well-adapted character. She deals with the struggles that she faces and she grows up very quickly, and I think it's very nice to see that kind of character. Question 5, The Tales of Ba Sing Se, the best short story or poetry collection that you own. For this one I really couldn't decide. There are two that I really enjoyed. I studied one of them for university and I really like the stories in it. And that one is Angela Carter's The Bloody Chamber and Other Stories. But poetry, I kind of have to go with Lewis Carroll's Jabberwocky collection. I have to, because Lewis Carroll's poetry, I mean, I adore it. I always will. I really like the Bloody Chamber collection as well because she explores the different folklore tales or fairy tales, and I really like the darkness and the disturbing nature of her stories. Question 6 is Kioshi Warriors, best warrior character. So for this one I decided to go for Akiva from the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I have only read the first book. I really like the way that his emotional struggles are explored and the way that he sees the war, the way that he handles things, and the fact that he does make mistakes and he has made mistakes, and that is what is so nice to see in a warrior. They have dark sides and they have things that they try and hide away from, and I really like the way that he was explored. I really like the way that he comes together as a character and the way that his history and his past are brought into the book as well. The next section is Fire. And question 7 is Zuko, best redemption arc or a redemption arc that should have been made. So for this one I wasn't really sure which one to pick. The only one that I can actually think of has been said by several people on this tag. I haven't read these books, so I really couldn't pick this character. It would have been Draco Malfoy, but then I was kind of thinking about which characters I always thought badly of, but at the same time felt sorry for, and would like to have known more about their past and the way that they were brought up. And I'm basically going with any District 1 or 2 character. So that's like Kato from the first Hunger Games, and I would kind of like to have seen why they were raised the way that they were for the games. Question 8 is wisest character. Having just read this book, I kind of had to pick it because it's the only character that I could think of, and it just constantly going over and over again in my mind. And I'm going to go with Brother Thistle from Frostblood by Ellie Blake. As I mentioned in my review of this book, it isn't out until January, so I'm not going to tell you anything about the character or how he interacts with the other characters, but I would choose Brother Thistle for my wise character. Question 9 is Azula, best downfall. I'm going with Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and having not read the second book, I don't know how it continues and what happens, but I really like the way that this book ended. I like the downfall of the particular character that was taken down and how that happened. I'm really excited to see what happens in Glass Sword and how those characters rebuild and try and take back what was taken by certain characters, and I'm trying not to give too much away because it's a massive spoiler. Yeah, and yeah, the thing that happened, I really like the way this book ended, basically. I'm really excited to see how they bounce back. So, question 10 takes us to air. Appa, favourite fictional animal or pet? Okay, for this one, I'm going to go with some of my favourite animal characters in all of literature. Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. I am going to go with Pan, who's Lyra's animal, and I just really like the concept of animals and spirits and souls and partnerships in this book. I really love Pan's character. He's just so kind of like childish but wise at the same time, and I really like the way that their relationship is depicted, and they love each other so much, and it's that threat of separation that holds them together. And I just love the way that Pan is in this book. He's so cute and adorable, and I haven't read this book in a while actually. Question 11, Aang, Purest cinnamon roll, which has got to be one of the best things to call someone. And for this one, I'm going to go with Tavi from Lady Midnight, who is one of the Blackthorn children. He is still a child and all these horrible things that are happening, and I really don't want him to grow up too quickly. I wish he could stay this innocent, pure child forever. I really, really like the way that Tavi is portrayed. He's so cute, and I like the way that he still manages to interact with the others, and he still contributes even though he is a child. Question 12, Avatar state. A stubborn character or a character that struggles with letting go. I'm going to go with Havisham from Great Expectations. I know there are so many YA characters that I could have chosen, but I really didn't want to go for the typical villain. She is seeking revenge for so many years, and she uses Estella. I like the way that her character is written. This woman was betrayed, she was hurt, she was treated so badly, and she holds on for years and years and years. And that is it for my tag video this week. If you did like this video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you do want to see more from me. I upload videos every week. I will see you all next week as well. Bye.